So, welcome to my channel. Let me make sure my mic is on. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and this is what I heard. This type of connection is sacred and rare. Right from the start, I'm not claiming any part of this reading. I don't claim any energy from this reading, any part of it. Uh, we're just going to leave it at that. Okay. Whew. Here goes. Here goes. Let's get a couple cards from here. Already starting to get dizzy off of this. Haven't even pulled the cards yet. Here goes. All right, guys. Okay. Oops. All right. Here goes. Oh, yikes. Okay. So there's something that's not yet fulfilled. And this is definitely something that is wanting to be created. These two together, this is something that was not fulfilled. Maybe once upon a time, it was wanting to be fulfilled and it just, it kind of fizzled. And now it's something that's, I assuming, is going to be allowed to go to full fruition, right? To be really just put out there into that manifestation template. Okay. Oh, I feel like I need to have breakfast before this reading. I feel like I need to go eat some breakfast first because this is already zapping my sugars. Protection and then respect in reverse. There is a person, I think this is a continuation of yesterday's crazy reading. I think that's what it is. It's a continuation of yesterday's crazy reading. There's someone who doesn't respect what it is that's happening right now. And you guys need to be protected from that person. They are very jealous, very spiteful. And their mindset is going to continue all the way through autumn until this upside down winter. Gosh, ethos and autumn. This is going to continue all the way through till autumn, and it's going to be something that's going to try and interfere with this rebirthing process. I don't know. Yep. Their intention is to go ahead and diminish the intensification of whatever this is um that's been cleared for manifestation. There's something that's been cleared for manifestation, and it's something important for you to experience. They want to take away the guardian. They want to almost like blindside. Ooh, someone's getting really desperate. It's very, very hidden. They can't let go. These are the same upside down cycles that they've been in. They're not going to be successful with this. It will come to fulfillment. Whatever this is, it's between you and another person, right? And whatever this is, it's going to come to fruition. So the moon letting go in cycles, like they refuse to let go. These are the same upside down cycles. This is something that's hidden. Whatever their plan is, it's hidden. And I think you're kind of just at a space where you need to be aware that there are people who are in fact planning, definitely planning for something that will affect you in your journey. They don't want you to be happy, but they're not going to be successful in this attempt. Success in reverse. They're not going to be successful in this attempt. Whatever it is that your higher self had already agreed to you experiencing, it's going to come to fulfillment. It's going to come to fulfillment. It's not something that um it's not something that can be stopped at this point. It's going all the way, all the way. See, there's no confidence. Okay. There's differences in you and whoever this person is. This type of connection is sacred and rare, right? It can be sacred and it can be rare, and you can't be exact duplicates of each other. You're going to have your differences regardless of how much similarity you have. And I think that's the thing, is that for all of the differences that you have an equal amount of similarity. This is someone who is very much um I'm gonna ask Bish a silent question. 100% at 808. Okay. Hey Bish. Bish, can you answer my question? Is it genuine? Is it a copycat? She goes to say no quietly. Is it a copycat, Bish? No. Is it the real deal? Yes. Okay. Anywho, I'm not going to be accusatory this morning. I'm just, I'm going to do the reading and then I'm going to make myself some French toast, grain free, dairy free French toast. And then I'm going to teach my class. And then I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to deeply condition my crazy ass hair. That's the plan for today. Oh, at some point I might even do expedites. I don't know. So, confidence. Someone is really lacking the confidence in whatever this is. So, you have someone that lacks confidence trying to approach someone who is totally warrior like, right? Mhm. The warrior, and then confidence in reverse. And this is causing this intensification of a desire for wish fulfillment. Wishing. Someone is wishing a mofo would. Someone is wishing for something to occur. This is literally like wish fulfillment is about to take place, but I don't know if this is something that people are going to be really complying with. So, gravity, understanding the gravity of it, right? Just really understanding the gravity of the situation at hand. This is something that's trying to lift you up in the most delicate of ways. And then that voice in reverse, speaking your word voice, it's in reverse. So there's a lack of communication. There's a lack of maybe connectivity. Maybe there's a potential that this is someone you've never even spoken to. Maybe you've had interactions online, but you haven't actually spoken to them, right? It feels like every reading is the same reading, no matter what decks I use. It literally feels like the same reading every single day. I'm so sick and tired of this topic. Nigh is the time. I'm just saying, like, okay, it's time. It's been time for like what, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So, passion in reverse. This is not an upside down passion. It has more to do with the tears no longer falling, right? It has to do with the tears no longer falling and metamorphosis being the basis from which this change is going to occur. Someone is going through a metamorphosis, and hopefully they finish soon, because it's like this reading is getting old. Old. I mean, in the time that this reading has been going on, seriously, someone had a whole entire life already. I'm just saying, someone's had a whole entire life already while this person is trying to figure out what to do. I'm just saying. Mountains no longer separate you. It's all about proximity. Someone has entered into proximity. They're experiencing growth in a very profound manner. Bravery and oceans, but this is in reverse, so this is telling me that there's no more oceans that are needing to be crossed. There's no mountains, there's no oceans. I bet you they're a rock throw away from you at this point, right? Depth lake. But see, it was in reverse, so it's this thing of, this person is not drowning in your water. They're fully capable of swimming. They're a very good swimmer. And maybe it's time to empty the lake out so you can re-enter the palace. I'm just saying. Power and volcanoes. This is going to be explosive. This is just going to be explosive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is going to be explosive. Whoever this is that you're sharing this like reading with, uh, you know, when all of this finally comes to fruition, because for the ones that this resonates with, this is coming to fruition. There's no stopping it. There's no altering it. There's no slowing it down. It's just something that's you're going to experience. So there is this attempt to limit and block the transformation that's occurring. This is a third party circumstance. It's three distinct energies that keep coming through, two that actually are drawn to each other. And then there's this one, there's this one that just really cannot stand that, baby boo, you already lost. Not just lost that fight, but lost your marbles. You lost your cabeza. You done lost your caca ass mind. Leave these people alone at this point. Move on, honey. Move on. I'm just saying. Move on. Desperate is ugly. You did all these things to change yourself, to modify yourself, to try and be more of what this other person, that your person is actually craving. Like, leave them both alone. For real. Anytime you have to modify yourself to be more like someone else in order to get another person to appreciate you better, like, I'm sorry, but that person is really not worth your time. They're not worth your time. They're just not. It's not worth your time. Continuing to try and modify yourself just to gain favor with a person who's too busy admiring someone else. That's caca. It is. It's caca. It's caca. Let them have each other. There's other people in this world, billions of other people in this world. What I found is that, when people get this way, because I've seen this happen so many times, when people get this way, it has less to do about loving the person that's interested in someone else and more to do with their pride and feeling like they've lost, that they want to win. They don't want to lose, they want to win. And every time you have that mindset, you know you've already lost. You know you've already lost. My mindset is, if you can get his attention, keep him. I don't care. I literally, I don't care. There are so many other people in this world. So many other people in this world. I'm not going to play that game with anyone. Mm-mm. If I have to fight for your attention, fuck your attention. I don't care. Maybe it's a trauma response, or maybe it's a source of power where I don't need someone with me. It's nice to have someone with you, but do you need someone with you? No, you don't. You don't. And when you start thinking these niceties that make life just that much more enjoyable are actually necessities, and that you'll cease to exist without them present, that's how you really set yourself up to hurt your own feelings. Regardless of whether or not people identify as empathic, we all are. We are all at varying degrees of empathy. We all have some type of empathic abilities. And what ends up happening is, when you show an unrecognized, probably dark empath exactly where to stick the knife, they probably will. They probably will. What are you going to do? This applies for work as well. It's this thing of, if your job cannot appreciate you, and I'm not talking about, getting you gift cards and having little parties for your work. I'm talking about, if your employer cannot understand the gravity of your contribution to whatever is being done, there are plenty of other employers. There are. There are. There really truly are. See, you're not selling your skill set to an employer. If you have a difficult time getting a job, it typically is because you're not marketing yourself properly. You are not presenting yourself in the best light possible. You are trying to simply tick off boxes on this list of things that all the other basic people are trying to tick off. So, what do you need to do? Embrace your uniqueness, and that uniqueness, how it will be presented, that's what's going to determine whether you'll get the attention, the interest of a prospective employer. That's the same thing with relationships. That is the same thing with relationships. It's a different type of transactional relationship. If you don't begin seeing things in the way that you need to see things, you're going to continue to live in the same cycles and repeat the same patterns. And you're going to keep wondering, why is this all I ever have? Well, if that's all you ever seek, that is all you will ever find. It's just, that's the reality of it. So maybe it's time to kind of take a look at what you're drawn to. Are you drawn to a certain type? I'm already like, are you drawn to a certain type? Do you have a type? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. If all your relationships end the same way, right? And every single person who you've been in a relationship with is like your type, maybe your type itself is inherently flawed. It's inherently flawed. Maybe it's time to make other decisions. Maybe this reading is for the person being left out in the cold in that third party circumstance. Honey, maybe it's time for you to really hear what, Auntie is saying. I'm just saying. Maybe it's time for you to listen to this and really hear it. Instead of putting all this effort into trying to win someone who's really not worth your time, energy, or effort to begin with. Because, baby boo, if they can't see the reality of the gravity of you from the start without you having to try, they are not compatible. They are not compatible. Seriously, they're not compatible. I think part of what the draw is, when I was a lot younger, I would hear people talking quite a bit about, I have this draw. I think it's because, like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not going out of my way to earn favor with you, or yeah, no. You either like really like me right now or you don't. And if you don't, too bad. I'm out. Yeah. I'm not going to play games with you, you know? If I page you and you don't call back right away, I'm not paging you again and I'm not wondering where you are. I'm moving forward. If you continuously um and that's how old I am. We didn't text each other, we paged. If you page me and I'm busy and then you start blowing up my page because you need to drop what I'm doing, it's not compatible. We're not compatible. I need my time and my space. Mhm. No, I'm not playing hard to get. I actually am hard to get. See, that's the thing. I like my own company. I like my own company. I'm not pressed to be around other people. And so there's no loneliness there that causes me to behave in a state of desperation. You have to exit out of that. How do you exit out of that? By falling in love with yourself. I don't know about this. I'm always taken for granted. It's not till I give up and go that they see. I don't know about this. That might be your perception right now. But what I've noticed for pretty much every single person that I have worked with that has this mindset of I'm taken for granted until I'm gone, it's not that you're taken for granted. It's that you have initiated the type of dynamic where you are the overgiver, overcompensator, and they take that as the norm. It doesn't take much to condition a person into the type of dynamic you want. Are you always taken for granted, or have you been convinced that unless you play the martyr, you're not worthy of love? And when you finally are martyred, you don't feel like it's fair, and then you leave, and then they realize. This is not about blame, though. This is not about what you deserve. This is about recognizing the behavioral and mental patterns that you continue to subscribe to that create the dynamics with new people that are exact replicas of old dynamics. And this is why we continue to have the same type of experiences day in and day out with new people, different environments, different work, different this, different that. This is why. All right. So when you begin to see that this is what you do, again, this is not about attacking yourself or condemning yourself. This is about recognizing what parts of your mindset leads to the behaviors that create the circumstance that perpetuates your unhappiness. This is about taking your power and using it in a way that is responsible, using it in a way that helps to build more internal power over your personal life, personal journey. It's really important. There is this limitless and transformation card. They're both in reverse. And it's this thing of, these recordings, these mindsets, preventing you from moving forward. Those are your property. It's like saying, oh, my shoes are preventing me from moving forward because they're blocking my hallway so that I can get to my door. Okay, dude, move the shoes to the side. Move the shoes to the side, and then you'll have a walkway to get to your door, to exit out of your house, right? Be fearless in your approach of your life, of your circumstance. Be fearless. What do you have to lose? Ever since I was much younger, my logic has always been I don't really have anything to lose. If I say something or do something and I lose people who claim to love me, then they didn't really love me. So then that's no loss. What do you have to lose? What is the thing? What is the attachment that keeps you confined to the same spaces that you've been confined to? What is it? Have you identified yet what you're attached to? Are you attached to a specific lifestyle? Are you attached to a specific person? Are you attached to a specific type of dynamic? Right? What are you attached to that you're not recognizing is being used as a way to keep you entrapped? That's the all right. So, celestial teacher and let go. You are the only one that is teaching yourself. There is no lesson outside of you that will be taught by someone aside from you. The people who are brought into your life are simply brought in to enhance your learning capacity. You are your teacher, you are your lesson, and you are your greatest learner. It takes letting go. It takes letting go and allowing yourself to see clearly. Maybe what we need to let go of are the rose tinted glasses, right? That maybe they're rose tinted beer goggles. You're drunk off someone's energy, and it's this thing of I don't know. There is this sadness in this reading. This is like a bratty behavior that like they don't want they want to get what they want, and they're willing to hurt over it and be treated poorly for it. And it's like, but are they even being treated poorly, or are they doing things to intentionally trigger a person knowing that that's going to be the response? And then when that person responds in that way, now they have it's like reactive abuse, but more covert. I think this is worse than a twin flame reading. Oh shit. This is worse than a twin flame reading. This is really like this is this is manipulative AF. This is a manipulative situation. Exploitative, manipulative AF. I think this ties into a divine masculine and sacred feminine. This is the process by which that masculine finds the truth of where he should anchor himself within his life. Some men can be so like easily and readily manipulated by women because it's like you don't want to feel like you're being mean, and she's far too eager to paint you as the mean person. Like let that let that shit be painted without you. Like for real. For real. This is crazy. This is insanity. This is literally insanity. Being stuck in a cycle like this where no matter how hard you try, it's not going to be enough. And to have the person you're trying so hard for to be the very person who continues to do things covertly to make you feel like you're not enough. I'm not getting into that. I'm not. I'm not. I am not saying that. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. What I heard was you already made the ultimate promise. What more was needed? Oh, this is so awkward. This is so awkward. Marlene says, that's not what I said. She goes, that's not what I said. I'm paraphrasing. Marlene says, ooh, why a Sigma INFJ is fearlessly authentic. Okay, anywho. What Marlene said is, you already proposed. What more did she want? Emotions, walk your truth. The emotions are going to continue to be like thrown around. You have to walk your truth. You have to allow yourself to exit out of these cycles of manipulation, and I think that's what's happened. I think for whoever this is, they've exited out of their cycles of manipulation already. And so, in case you guys don't know, because I've dealt with quite a few manipulative people in my lifetime, right? In case you don't know, when you are at the threshold of freedom, that is when the manipulative person goes absolutely insane. They go bonkers with their attempt to reel you back in. It's time for you to awaken to the reality of what it is that you've lived through, what you've been forced to endure, and to believe in yourself and your ability to rise. Believe in yourself and your ability to rise. I'm sure it hurts, Yogi. I'm very sure it hurts. These are not easy processes, you guys. I can speak so matter of fact about it because I'm not going through it. You know what I'm saying? This is something like I'm speaking matter of fact about this because this is the same mother effing reading for years now. Years now. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I'm impatient in that sense. I can be patient AF for other people, but the moment you keep just keeping me in the same cycles, I am about efficiency. I am legit like, if you are requesting that I allow myself to be inefficient, then you're asking for too much. you just you just are. You're asking for too much from me. I will not comply. I will not. No, no. So let's see. Let us see. All right. Yod, destiny. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. So it's almost this thing of, I wonder, I really, really wonder if what happened was way back when, because it feels like y'all are the cross watchers at this point. Like you guys are just watching these two imploding. That's what it feels like. I'm thinking way back when what happened was there was a connection between you and another person. And this other person, because they got scared of that connectivity with you, they couldn't, um, I guess, I don't know, control that relationship, that connection with you in the way they're accustomed to controlling everything. And so, in order to avoid you, they began another relationship and was gone. And now that other relationship that they began is the very thing that's pushing them back to you. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm going to leave that alone. A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it. Okay. So The Yod configuration is linked to the Hebrew alphabet. Yod or Yud is a 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which has mystical implications signifying the omnipresence of God and often denoting humility because the energy is locked in that triangular configuration, causing matters to be fated and often difficult, but not without their rewards. So this is something that's been intentionally difficult because of the massive reward that's going to occur once these cycles are allowed to be phased out, meaning no more repeating the same dang thing. This configuration is influential and implies that there is a disruptive force at work. Remember what I was saying earlier. This person who a relationship ended between two people, one is going towards you, and the other one is just going crazy, crazy, trying to prevent their now ex person from being able to reconnect with you. That's a whole messy ass thing. I'm usually fine with messy, but that is just asking for too much. This can okay, in a sense, this astrological placement of planets is somewhat in exile from the other planetary energies because they're not harmonious with each other and therefore cause tension. You see, you're not a part of whatever's going on there. You've lived your own life. You've been separate from whatever crazy caca. That's the crazy caca trinity. That's the crazy caca, the triple C. The crazy caca. They can do that shit by themselves. This can bring about feelings of intense stress and restriction. There can also be a sense of being different, feeling alone, and being out of step with others at times. A yod in a natal chart can even indicate being the black sheep of the family. When the yod card presents itself in a reading, it means the situation may be chaotic, which from this reading, it's definitely chaotic. It will be hard to see any clear path because of this chaos, but it will be important to weather through it all. This is not always bad because it's a process of finding what works and what isn't functioning. And now will be the time to be scaling things down and weeding out what is unnecessary. So, really scaling things down, really, instead of having these very lofty goals and this expectation of this like really profound circumstance, and I think it just needs to be really whittled down to the bare minimum, the core essence of what's being learned here. This card is about finding your own truth, even though that truth may not be reflected through others. So, one person in this three-person circumstance is just really immersed in an environment where everywhere they turn, they can't have they don't have anyone who understands what they're going through. Maybe because you make a mess of everything. What the fuck? Make a decision, stick with it. That's why it's messy. You keep dilly dallying and going back and forth. You're making your own misery. You're dumping all your garbage in the place where you sleep. And then you wonder why you're uncomfortable surrounded by other people's trash attitudes, trash emotions. Are you the basura man? I'm just saying, when you feel like it's your job to be the basura man, you can't then wonder why you're surrounded by basura. I'm just saying, if that's not what you vibe with, some people vibe with being the trash collector. They go around, they pick up other people's trash because, let's face it, sometimes what some people consider their trash is another man's treasure, right? Right. It's all about perspective. But here's the thing, if you're that unhappy being the trash collector, you need to resign from that position and find a different career path. That's what this comes down to. You keep trying to save someone from what? From hurt. They hurt because that's their identity. That is what they like. Look at all their relationships. If you're familiar with this person and you know about their history in relationships, look at every single relationship they have had. Have they taken accountability for anything they've created? Okay, this is not my example. This is Marlene's example. Something about substance abuse, partners with substance abuse, substance use, And then, like, Marlene, I don't want to use that example. That one is a bad example. There's a potentiality those experiences, those bad experiences in previous relationships were initiated by the person themselves, that they are the root causation of the misery they experience in those relationships. And they made their partner so ridiculously unhappy, but at the same time, feeling so ridiculously trapped in that relationship. And, if that is the person's history, what do you think they're doing to you right now? There are people who exist who cannot stand when you are happy. And instead of asking why would you do that? Why would you, be not happy if someone's not happy? I think the real question here is, why are you still with them if they're like that? Why are you still considering how to salvage their feelings? I'm just saying, we need to make other decisions that take us to other places. Walking forward into a space that someone else can't follow is not leaving them behind. It's accepting their limitations and accepting them as they are while not compromising you and your potential. If they're really meant to be part of your life, they'd be able to enter the places you're going. If they're really meant to be a part of your life, they would go out of their way to try and cultivate themselves to the degree that they can go where you're going. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's important to be very, very clear with yourself about what's happening and what you're going through. This card denotes a time to voyage inward and come to your own truth. This card is about finding your own truth, even though that truth may not be reflected through others. You may wish for more support when this card comes up, and will have to manage this all on your own. Like, this is someone needing to, set out into the world on their own. They've become so dependent. And it's a codependency that was established. It's this damsel in distress, only to realize the damsel in the tower that you keep trying to save is a banshee that lives there. Ooh. I'm saying they presented themselves as a damsel in distress needing to be saved. That's sad. You've been manipulated this whole time. That's sad. That's very, very sad. Because of gender roles and expectations of fulfillment of those gender roles, you were shoehorned into this role of trying to save this damsel who was locked in a tower, only to find out years later that's a banshee that lives there, a siren out of water. And what you've really been wanting is a warrior queen. You're not going to find a warrior queen in a banshee or a siren out of water. And I think that's the problem. This logic of, I wish I could be saved, and so I try to save. All of this effort that you guys put into saving someone else, like, if you applied it to yourself, you wouldn't be seeking external validation for your existence. Shannon, hey boo, how you is, boo? I'm just saying, it's like this thing. And actually, Shannon here, hey Shan, you, my dear, helped me to learn quite a bit of this years ago. I still distinctly remember this message that you sent me. You were like, girl, that is a grown ass man. Why the hell every single time he creates problems for himself, you got to come running and save his ass? He a grown ass man. And I was like, oh, yes. It's this thing. It's this thing that we go through where it's like we feel obligated, this obligatory existence of trying to fill whatever, gender based role that society tells us we should fill. You know how many times society and members of society have tried to convince me that I need to be a damsel and anything outside of playing the role of a damsel is inappropriate for me? I'm sorry. I'm out there in the trenches with the rest of the humans fighting for our liberation from these oppressive programs that tell me that I need to be limited in my existence. I don't think so. If I want to be in the trenches, I'll be in the trenches. If I want to build furniture, I'll build fucking furniture. I will not just sit pretty on my throne in my throne room. I have the sovereign right to traverse my entire kingdom and exist anywhere within it. I'm just saying, like, stop playing into these roles that people try and tell you, like, oh, you can only be there. You can only be there. Fuck you. I be where the fuck I want to be. What you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing except squawk. You know what? I eat birds. I eat meat. I eat birds. They're my favorite type of meat. You want to keep squawking in my kingdom? I might stick a Let me just stop. I was gonna say, I might just stick a stick up your ass and put your ass on the rotisserie. I love to eat chickens. Okay, let me calm it down because I need to hurry up and finish so I can cook and eat. Okay. I'm just saying, like, stop playing into these roles. Amen to this right here. We are so much more than these roles. Boo, I need you to come up and talk with me on screen at some point. We need to, talk about this. We do. We need to talk about this. You've been on this like fabulous journey, a difficult one, very challenging, but just fabulous nonetheless. And you've been such a source of inspiration for me since, you know, way back when. Let's see. Although these diseases would not be life threatening, they could still be a crucible of sorts with a need for drastic changes to be made for relief or for symptoms to subside. More positively, this card means that circumstances are good for achieving your goal, but be prepared for sacrifices on your part. You can't actually enter into a space of sovereign autonomy, individuated consciousness, while still maintaining this desire to be seen and accepted by everyone. Not everyone's going to accept you. Not everyone is going to even have the capacity to truly see you for all that you are and everything you're becoming. You're just not. It's not. You can't have both. You can't have both. You can't. You can try, but that's where you get yourself all caught up. It will not be an easy path, but it's time to expand your focus. You have a desire for greater awareness, which will come through dedication. But patience and adaptability are necessary in making the situation work to fulfill your greater purpose, the one you were born for. Ooh. Oh my God. I felt that in the chest. You were born for something. This connection, this type of connection, sacred and rare. And part of your birthright is this connection. I don't know if this connection is going to lead to romance. Um, but this is something that's like it ties into both of your purpose, you and the other person that you're connected to. It's important. Oh my God, it's my favorite poem ever. It just gave me like all of these. Okay. Okay. Card number 28, fourth house, roots. Oh, that's like my favorite line too. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret between the shadow and the soul. Oh my God. Neruda, stop. Hold on. I'm going to find you guys the entire effing. Oops. Um, I got to read you the whole poem. So this is 100 Love Sonnets by Pablo Neruda, sonnet number 17. I don't love you as if you were a rose of salt, topaz, or arrow of carnations that propagate fire. I love you as one loves certain things, secretly between the shadow and the soul. I love you as a plant that doesn't bloom but carries the light of those flowers hidden within itself. And thanks to your love, the tight aroma that arose from the earth lives dimly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you directly without problems or pride. I love you like this because I don't know any other way to love, except in this form in which I am not, nor are you, so close that your hand upon my chest is mine, so close that when you close your eyes with dreams, my eyes close too. I just love that poem. I'm just saying. Anyways, your question may somehow be rooted in the past. So, this house is ruled by the moon and governs the feelings, all the ways we are touchy and emotional, dreams, and our soul yearnings. So, again, this is like a soul yearning that's taking place. I think this yearning has to do with each of you fulfilling whatever role within the greater collective that you were designed to fulfill. You weren't simply born to be someone's boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, whatever you identify as. That's not your only purpose. Your purpose is multifaceted. And it's this time that's coming forward where all your facets will be placed on display. Your luminescence, the way you shine, the world is waiting to witness it. So, okay. The fourth house, the self is center in and grounded, but also likes to hide away, as well as caretaking. It also represents hidden treasures and a place to retreat. And I think what's happening is someone is recognizing that you are a hidden treasure because you are the sanctuary for their tiredness, their exhaustion with having to deal with life. When this card shows up in a reading, home and family issues may have something to do with your query, and as it represents your current environment, family members and where you live, real estate and land might also figure in, as in putting down roots or buying or selling a home. I'm almost wondering, did this person who's trying to escape the banshee, because there's no other word for it, this is someone who screams and screams like a fucking child. Whew, I got a chancla with your name on it. I'm just saying. Maybe you need a chancla with their name on it, or a paddle, something. I don't know. Slotted spoon. This card can be the predictor of a birth or new members in the family, a pregnancy, and can sometimes mean care for the elderly, including nursing homes and hospital stays. This card can also indicate the presence of angels and being directed by heavenly means. Okay, let me just be the angel that you're looking for and let you know. Let this shit go. The toxicity needs to be tempered. It needs to be reduced. Pour some out of your cup for the fallen homies. I'm just saying. Okay. Uh, Events or appearances of persons from your faraway childhood may suddenly be relevant again. You may reconnect with someone and pick up again just where you started, even if it has been years, even if it has been years. See what I'm saying? They're trying to go back to you because you're their safe space. You're their home. That's why. I don't know if this has to do with romance. It has to do with the way you are able to empower them to the degree that they don't feel afraid about walking away from these toxic cycles that have been their imprisonment for years. So I'll be your captain. I'll save you, ho. I'll be your captain and I will save you, ho. Come on, get on my ship. The fuck? Events or appearances of persons from your faraway childhood may suddenly be relevant again. You may reconnect with someone and pick up again just where you started, even if it has been years since you've seen your friend. Memories of past lives may surface, transforming areas of your present life, depending upon the surrounding cards. The results may be uplifting and perfect or shattering to the core. I think it depends on who you ask. But regardless, I am not just some Navy chef, okay? I'm the captain. I will save you, ho. Come on. Come on. Wow. That that right there. Hmm. That right there. Like I felt that. And whoever said you were a demon whore? Is it because you continue to make profiles to continue to be present? You go by a different name, right? Have multiple of your profiles been banned from my channel? Because that would explain why you identify as a demon whore. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Let's see. Depending on the surrounding, okay, these memories will change you and the way you view your life. Look for reunions and reconnections with persons from your past, such as grammar school days or even relatives you don't know very well or had long forgotten. You may dig up some fascinating news about your family or ancestry. Inheritances may figure in where you receive something that has been passed down to you. However, the home is a primary meaning behind this card. So, buying or selling a house, adding on to a house, selling real estate, and managing properties, as well as creating a secure home base, all relate to your question. This is also the house of dreams, imagining and relying upon magic could feature. After all, the fourth house is lorded by the Lady Moon, mistress of magic and the unseen world. It's now time to use your imagination and make things happen. What you think now is what will be, as long as you don't worry and fixate. Your magical intentions will grow organically, just like a silvery plant under the sacred moon. So it's this thing of allowing yourself to really step into this powerful space of co creation and manifestation, right? Sensing, water element sensing, card number 40. All right, let's see. This is about being led by feelings. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will. This card represents being all things. You have the tendency to want to allow things to pass you by without fighting for them, to let go of something that is rightfully yours. Water is the element of compassion and understanding, but avoid being a doormat. It's possible people or forces may take advantage of your benign and accepting nature. And I think that's the thing, is that someone has been taking advantage of the way you are. This is someone who really, really knows the way you are. Look inward. Don't worry about the drama that surrounds you. Avoid the commotion. Sit still, float, and trust your inner wisdom. It will not steer you wrong. Water is the element of the signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The planets of water are the moon, Pluto, and Neptune. Wait a minute. Let's see. Feeling shy or out of place, being quiet and introverted. Subtle changes in circumstances and environment. I'm wondering, is this someone who is like moving and then the person they're moving away from is trying to coerce them into allowing them to move with them? I mean, there's no point in moving then if that's what you're doing. If that is what you are doing. La 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 la. Bow to your partner. Then you turn around. Okay. Let's see. Card number 25. The Fool. Hold on. All right. I am not the perishable body, but the eternal self. Move ahead with confidence. You are rising. There, that says it right there. This card means you'll soon be feeling your own strength, although it may feel natural just to take over and assert your power. You may need to pull back some. Try not to control or dominate certain situations, as this could backfire. More positively, people may feel comfortable now with you as their leader and they won't mind following your lead. It's important that you don't abandon your goals now out of boredom. Okay. Since this house opposes the seventh house of partnerships, it's a good omen regarding relationships of all kinds. It can mean relationships are about to mature or become more serious. Let's see. First house card also speaks of beginnings and starting anew. It implies it's time to honor your gift of being distinct. It also suggests a position of leadership. It may be time to defend something of value to you, perhaps your reputation, your authentic self, or your chosen life path. And I'm wondering, I am wondering. Oh God, I get tired of people who talk about other people in the comments. I just do. I just do. This card marks a period of being tested or challenged and indicates who you are and who you will become. Whatever is implied in the surrounding cards will indicate what must soon be faced and met. Card number 42, final card. I gotta get going. Like, I don't understand that. I don't. If a person is so horrible, their life choices are so horrible, why stay fixated? I never understood that. Like, I had people accuse me of being a horrible person, yet they still, to this day, they still watch my live streams. They still come around. Why? I'm so horrible. Leave me be. So, really, is a person horrible, or are they only horrible because you couldn't hoe them out? You couldn't get them to do what you wanted them to do. You couldn't dictate to them who to be, when to be that, how to be that, because you said so. I'm just saying. Card number 42, South Node Life Debts. Karma, when properly understood, is just the mechanics through which consciousness manifests, right? South Node represents a karmic point in our charts where certain matters must be discharged or cast off in order to develop and move on toward greater things. If a person is that horrible, treated you that horribly, I'd say good riddance. Is it not? Is it not good riddance? Is it not good riddance? This lunar node is also called the dragon's tail, and this is where most past karma lies in the astrological chart. The South Node is a place where we are challenged and growth occurs through some kind of pain. At the same time, the South Node is realistic and is the area of the horoscope that shows how we can know and understand who we truly are. Let's see. The South Node represents karmic debts, which can make life circumstance hard, but neither the North Node nor the South Node are all good luck or bad. In fact, when it comes to the nodes, what will be given is what has been earned. There's no other way of getting there without the toil and effort, right? What will be given is what was earned. I'm just saying. There's no way of getting there without the toil and the effort. The South Node is also a key to what has been left unfinished or unresolved in your life. What lies therein is what we bring from not only our childhoods, but also our past. So these are things that are left, they are loose ends that are needing to be tied up. When this card turns up in a reading, it's a turning point. It's time for endings and beginnings. Understand that there's something about those about to close that has been held in place for a long time. Familiar ways will end, ushering you forward in new ways and through different developments. You are ready to step out of the rut and align yourself with a higher vision. You may be evaluating certain aspects of your life to realize there is no longer any connection there and that it is time to move on. Be assured you will have a stronger foundation for your next venture. Doors slam, but in recognizing what needs to end, it helps you to move on towards further maturity. A major turning point, this is a period to maximize the advantages of these changes, difficult though they may seem now. You will want to leave your comfort zone and make as many new contacts as possible. Even though the South Node is not as congenial as the North, they are still in balance, having things in common. So when you face resistance at a particular time, excuse me, that is your South Node telling you, over here, this is a better way. Blocks and obstacles, especially in this case, are letting you know you're not on your right or golden path. The South Node is all about being prepared for what comes next, and that means being experienced. There is no winging it at this time, or your plans may truly sink. Sometimes, when the South Node is activated, it will take several tries to get what you're after. You could receive an unexpected rejection, one you weren't looking for. You could even be asked to do extra tasks while working longer hours. The good news is, even though things are a bit tough at the current moment, it still is an advantageous time. You're about to hook up with people in your soul tribe. You are setting down a foundation for your future marvelous life. I'd say that's a good card. I'd say that's a powerful message. I'd also say the first time someone cheats on you is a time that needs to be done. And if you continue to stay, then you can't come on here and be like promiscuity, polygamy, like for real. They showed you many times and you chose to stay. So when you want to eat in your bed and then you wonder why your bed smells like rotten food, that's kind of on you. That's kind of on you. I have no mercy for people who are like that. For real. I have no mercy for people who like to point the finger at everyone else. The fact still remains. The fact still remains. You are attempting to take ownership of a sovereign who continuously shows you through their behavior that you are not the business. So is the problem their behavior or your unwillingness to receive the message? I'm just saying, you only got to show me one time that you don't want me around. I promise you, I'll believe it. You only got to show me one time, and I will believe it forever. I will not ask for an explanation. I will not beg you to give me a chance to show you that I can be what you want me to be. I'm either what you want forever or not. And if it's not, I respect that. I move forward from it. I will not be seeking other people's validation of my vindictiveness. We got to understand where our behaviors are rooted and the way our behaviors could potentially be received by someone who can see through the bullshit. You see, I'm not a tarot card reader. I'm not even psychic. I'm a seer. I can see everything I need to see when I want to see it. Careful. Maybe I should put that as a disclaimer. I can see past bullshit. And I have a mouth with no filter. Thank you to Asperger's. I have a mouth with no filter and I don't read social cues very well. I don't know when people need me to kind of pump them up and validate their vindictiveness. I just see those things and I'm like, well, that's bullshit. You're full of shit, bro. You're full of shit. You want to own someone and they don't want to be owned, but you're not going to let go because fuck that. They belong to you. I got that right? It's accurate. It's accurate. It's not a question. It's a declaration. I made a statement. I'm not questioning. I'm telling you what I see. And that's the hard thing. People don't want to know the reality of their behaviors. It's not the place to be then. It's just not. This is the place where Asperger's rules. So, not joking. You pair that with my ADHD over talking, it's a recipe for you to see exactly who you are with no condemnation. I'm not condemning you. I'm just calling it how I see it. And trust me, baby boo, I can receive just as much as I give out. If you want to write a few words about what you think I am, that's fine with me too. But you better make sure they're accurate. Make sure they're accurate. I got to get going, guys. I got to eat before I teach class. So yeah, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Okay. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here for church. That's right. I'm not a tarot card reader. I'm actually a bona fide reverend. And you just entered my church. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when services start. Love you. Have an amazing day.